Hi there, everybody. KFan701 here. Well, I usually don't do these type of streams like I would like to do, but unfortunately, though, as you can tell by the title, you're pretty sure I have an idea what this is about. Um, I've just been confirmed here, apparently, with breaking news that the submarine that went down to the wreck of Titanic says has been located, but it seems to be confirmed from the Coast Guard that unfortunately the 5 lives that were inside that submarine have died. The submersible, as I suspected that would have happened, apparently has sunk after it imploded, instantly killing the guys inside. It's just, I can't believe this. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you guys, but this was going to happen. It was predicted, years or decades before that something like this was going to happen. That a tourist thing would go down to the wreck, only to them to be died by the ocean's fury. I mean, we haven't seen this happen with any of the guys who have gone down launching expeditions, like solving mysteries on the Titanic. Like, we've never seen it happen with Ballard or James Cameron or any of the other guys who went down. But for a tourist thing to happen like this, with no leads, no guidance, if not no experience, I think this has just changed expeditionary on Titanic forever. I mean, there's going to be some lawsuits that will come out of this. Finger of blame will have to be put on because something has to give here. Somebody has to be responsible for this. I mean, the guy who took the sub down and used a bloody Xbox controller to control the sub, that's ridiculous. I'm not sure whoever the driver was knew what he was doing. And I think all of this was done. There's going to be some conspiracies, which I don't really like. There's going to be rumors that this was a plot or whatever. And now with the loss of 2 millionaires in that sub, I'm not lying. Something bad's going to come out of this, guys. I mean, literally, to have this near the wreck of Titanic, I mean, what more can this unfortunate thing happen? I mean, the sinking was bad enough, but for this to happen in our time, I'm starting to wonder if that whole race Titanic thing in the back in the day when that submarine that imploded in Starfish was like a prelude to that. And here it was. Except this wasn't the Starfish blowing up. This was an actual submarine that just wasn't designed to go this deep. It's not just unfortunate, guys. I'm telling you in the chat, this is just unbelievable. This is history for the wrong reasons. We've already had enough tragedy. But for this to happen, oh, man. I mean, me being a Titanic buff is one thing, but this to happen, and with the loss of 2 millionaires out of the 5 lives in that sub, I can't explain it. I mean, I'm shocked. I've just had it confirmed. It just says right here, the Coast Guard said that the wreck, that whatever's left of it, has been found. They heard banging noises going on, and then here they are. They found a little debris field very close to where the wreck is, and now they are said that they've died. But the Coast Guard has confirmed it. But we don't know if these wreck remains are exactly the exact same that belong to the sub. But it does seem very likely now that the unthinkable has happened. Just saying here right now, looking on the news report here, the 5 men have it says they believed that they have died from a catastrophic implosion, but I am very convinced that it has imploded. The only thing is that this is what I've just found right here, right now, on my thing right here. That's it there. They need to find what's left of this sub. They need to find whatever's left of this submarine to confirm if it has imploded. They gotta find the name of the submarine, and then they can find where the location is, pinpoint the position, and then we can get the actual information. We can't just speculate. We can't just speculate that, that it has imploded. If it has, like I said, I don't even know what I'm saying at this point because I want to believe it's happened, but if it has been confirmed to be the actual sub, then we know we've got the truth. But then the hard questions will come and surface. Who will be at blame and at fault, and how can we not let this happen again? And what would the future be for Titanic explorations? I feel this is the beginning of the end for underwater explorations to the wreck of Titanic. I mean, the actual expeditioners who can go there, but let the professionals do it. Don't bring tourist people who want to waste their money and go down to see it. I mean, sure they can, but send a little ROV down there to see it. But don't take yourself down there. I mean, seriously, I literally am just lost for words in a way, and I'm a little bit upset about this because who in the hell in their right mind would do this, man? I mean, it was almost like destined to happen almost. As if a warning. I mean, we knew something bad would happen, but not this suddenly. Guys, I would love to talk more about this, but if any of you guys are free, I'm going to invite you guys in here because I am literally just gobsmacked. I cannot believe this. This is just, unprecedented, but a lot of us knew that something like this was going to happen. It just took one thing to happen, and this is it. I just can't believe this, lads. I can just only imagine what the families and friends are thinking right now, because this was not supposed to happen. This will probably be the most tragic thing that's happened in 2023, and I literally can't believe this. I'm shocked. Again, guys, I've left you a link here if you want to join, because I literally can't call it all by myself. I literally cannot believe this. I literally cannot. I can only imagine what Bob Ballard and James Cameron are going to think if they've already found out. But this is just unbelievable. Again, guys, I've left you a link in the chat, so pop in if you want to, because I literally cannot believe this. I'm lost for words. I literally am lost for words on a lot of things right now. Well, the last time you were here with me, Astro, you had no problem. If any of you guys want to come in, Trains, Famlam, Samla, you can actually come in if you guys want to. I mean, there's a lot of free space, man. I just cannot believe this, lads. I mean, this is one thing to happen in the modern story of the Titanic, but I'll have to wonder what's going to happen tomorrow. I mean, the papers are going to have this dominated all over the place right now because anything that's involving Titanic is going to make head news. But again, if they've confirmed what's left of that submarine, what's left of it now, if they can try and find an identity on it and pinpoint its location, then they know where it is. We just can't confirm it we found some debris, it's imploded. But they need to find the naming of the sub if they can. But still, this is just tragic, man. I literally don't know what's going to happen, but I know for a fact tomorrow morning the paper's going to have this plastered everywhere. I mean, it was a bad idea to start with. I mean, this was a terrible idea to begin with. I mean, this was going to happen. And we all predicted this. Even myself predicted many years ago that they take a tourist down to Titanic, something will happen. But not like this. Sorry, Astro, man. I'm not talking about steam engines or whatever, man, but you gotta understand the seriousness of what's going on. Listen, Diallo, man. Stop talking to me in the chat, man. You're literally... This is just... It's just... I know. Oh, God. I can only imagine what the BBC would be thinking right now, but I literally cannot believe this. Damn. I mean, what on earth were they thinking? I mean, heck, what was the driver of that submarine thinking? I mean, his controller hand was a freaking Xbox guide thing. It's ridiculous. I mean, that sub wasn't even built to go down that far, and it was too small, barely oxygen to breathe. Ugh. I mean, something really is going to come out of this badly, man. I think the controller may have done this intentionally. Now that I think about it, you know, I don't think it got caught on anything. I mean, if it had been, it would have been on the Titanic's wreck site, but it's not actually on the wreck. Thank goodness, from what we can tell. But the thing is, I feel like it hasn't. Well, we're saying it has imploded. That means it either suffered a power failure or has gone beyond its crutch depth. Literally, this is just we don't have any answers yet. We can only I wouldn't say speculate, but in this day and age, there's going to be a lot of conspiracies. It's going to be like, you know, the public's imagination will be like, oh, this will be this or that or whatever. So we can't let the media do their thing. We have to wait until we can get the actual truth out there. You know, that's what we have to do. So I mean, the controller. Well, maybe the controller guy who was controlling that sub must have done something to it. But at the same time, there was two millionaires, on that submarine. They're dead if they have been confirmed, and that's terrible. I mean, could they be murdering in this one? Just think about it. Yes, yes, Trains Mania. I've just found it. Yeah, they've. Well, I won't say it's officially confirmed, but they're speculating that the sub imploded. And they found like a little debris field after they heard some banging noises going on. But we don't know if it's the actual sub or is it a more unknown debris field from the Titanic's wreck. But at the moment, right now, I'm just saying, at the moment, I'm pretty sure that this thing has imploded. But the fact is, though, like I said, we can only expect. Well, I hate saying that. We have to try and figure out. We'll get the actual truth eventually, but right now, even I don't even know what to think anymore. I'm literally just can't believe what we're hearing. If the sub has imploded, they would have found its identity, the naming of the sub, or whatever's left of this. But if they have, if that sub has been found, has imploded as well, then it is a tragedy. But right now, I feel, literally in my gut right now, I feel like it is true. I feel like that sub has blown, and the guys in there, the 5 lives are lost, just like that. Can't believe it. And I'm sure you guys here at home right now, for you guys watching or hearing about this too, I mean, this is crazy. Astro, what he means explode is like an underwater implosion. That's what it means. When the pressure is too big. No, James Cameron's not even in there. No. It would have been confirmed if he had been. He wasn't there. He was done with Titanic in 2012 or whatever it was. So he's done more than 30 plus dives down to the wreck of Titanic. So he's been there and done that. But if it was actually located near Titanic's bow, oh man. I mean, one can only imagine in a terrifying way as if I don't know. I don't want to go all supernatural, but it's almost like the spirit of Titanic was like, saying like as if, don't bring tourism down on my grave, or don't do that. I'm not trying to sound like I'm crazy here, lads, but just think of it that way from a supernatural perspective. But right now, lads, I literally cannot believe this. Lawsuits will come out. I know there will be. Someone's going to pay a fine for this. I mean, tourism going down to Titanic is going to be over. Like, the professionals who do these underwater explorations, who do like underwater investigations, the pros, those who have done that, they'll still be allowed to go down. But to have tourism, like underwater people to pay to go down to see the Titanic, that's never going to happen again after what's happening now. Like, none of us will get that chance. But I mean, we could have done. just send a little ROV down there and just see it that way, not putting us in there. But seriously, this is terrible, man. Like, this is absolutely terrible. I mean, what more can I say, man? I'm shocked. I'm sure you guys are feeling the same way too. Well, I wouldn't say we wouldn't leave Titanic's grave on it, but I mean, seriously, oh Jesus. Hey Jordan, I think I know exactly where you're coming on with that. Yeah, definitely. Listen, Transmedia, he wasn't even on there. If he had been, that would have been devastating. He's not even. We don't even know who the other five lives are. We already know that. We know that there were two millionaires on that sub. That's what we know of. Yeah, basically the sub imploded, which means like the air inside of it got too much. The pressure just blew the thing out, just like that. Oh God. Like literally everything right now is just scrambling everywhere. Social media is literally gobsmacked by this. They don't even know what to think right now. The sub was actually named the Titan. It says the five men on board the missing sub are believed to be dead after a catastrophic implosion. This was just told at about 2029 at this point, so it was just like nearly 20 minutes ago. The Coast Guard is just telling us, it says something about like catastrophic loss of pressure in the chamber. Connor Stevenson's news report is saying that all five on board are believed to be dead. Ugh. It says that these people inside were true explorers who shared a distant spirit of an adventure for a deep passion for exploring and protecting the world's oceans. That their hearts and souls go out to the five who have been lost, to their families during this tragic time, and grieving their loss of love and joy that they brought to everyone they knew. Okay. Now that does sound a little bit far fetched there, but it says something like, you know, about this and that. Something tells me that this may have been pre-planned just for the sake of it. They paying for the sake of money to go down there, which would be a lot to go and see Titanic. But again, I really do feel like this was not done properly. I don't think there was no preparations for this. So something was definitely going to go wrong, especially with the guy controlling the sub using an Xbox controller to drive the submarine down. That's just crazy. That's not proper driving. You have to use an actual driving controller. You don't have to use a bloody video game from an Xbox to do it. So I feel like something was up. And I do feel like that was just not right. I mean, does anybody else like who else and anybody else would drive a submarine by using a video game? Like if you used like a GameCube controller or an Xbox or a PlayStation 3 or 2 or whatever, it's ridiculous. It's not like you're driving a video game down the ocean. This is the real thing. Well, we do know that apparently that the sub imploded nearer the wreck of Titanic, but not on the wreck. So at least I feel like that's confirmed. At least in my mind, that is, because that ship has suffered too much. Like literally, like ignore the backgrounds you can hear because I've got messages coming left and right. This is just like I said, everybody else is just like scrambling for answers right now. Like this is really taking over the media right now. And as I said before, when it comes to Titanic and a lot of things that happen, you know that the world's going to be in listening to this. That is true. They paid a lot of money to go down to the site. I mean, like I said, there was two billionaires on that sub. I don't know, but that's what we saw in the newspapers when I was reading it yesterday. That was ridiculous. You can even see on that guy's video, whoever it is, when he's showing like a tour of what it's like, and it made me wonder, does this guy know what he's doing? You know, I feel that controller guy has something to do with it. The guy who was driving the sub down. But this, I mean, that sub was so small you could barely fit in there. Barely any air, any oxygen. There was no even escape pod patch or anything. Like, this whole thing was one death thing to blow up or whatever. Yeah, what were they thinking? God damn. Now, it says apparently here, from what I'm reading, the news conference that was heard just a moment ago confirmed. Well, it has been confirmed. It said that it says that it was confirmed that the nose cone of the missing sub, which was its rear end, I think, the rear sub, which was streamlined at the back, it says something like, apparently it was, oh geez, it has been found actually. It did implode. It has been, I'm reading it right now, it has been confirmed. It did implode. It says that the nose cone of the missing sub approximately was found 1,600 feet from the bow of Titanic on the sea floor. That's not too, that's not too far. Additional debris was found nearby. In the conclusion with the experts, I affirmed to the commander the debris constantly that the catastrophic loss of pressure within the chamber had blown. So the guys inside died instantly, quickly. Mercifully, it was a quick one. They would not have known what had hit them. That's what happens with the unimaginable power of the sea that can crush anything. It went below its crushed depth and bam, just like that. It's true. It is confirmed, man. Hey, Milos, I can see you in the background. But literally, man, this is a serious thing. If you guys want to join in, pop in right now because I'm losing my voice at this point. I'm choking out there. It even says on the Coast Guard saying that he hopes that this discovery provides some solace during this time. How the hell can the families have any solaces in understanding that they've just lost their loved ones? That's just going to make it more worse. I mean, I keep saying this again. There was two billionaires on that submarine as well, along with the three other guys as well. This is just damn. They've asked even any of the traces of the five passengers have been found. Well, I don't think there will be. This is just terrible, man. Can't believe this. Well, five lives is a very, very tiny number compared to the 1,500 that were lost on Titanic, but to have this happen in our modern time, it's terrible. Yes, Transmail, I can see you, pal. This is terrible, man. It has been confirmed. I know what I know you might be thinking. This is like shocking, man. I think most of us saw this coming, but not like this. God, I can only imagine what the papers are going to do tomorrow. It's going to dominate the entire news thing right now as we speak. Oh, God. It says the remote operation vehicle has been searched. It is highly capable about going down there, but now it says they've been able to classify parts of the pressure chamber of the Titan sub. Like I said, when you go out there, it's an incredibly unforgiving sea environment out there. They will continue. I'm further reading saying, hearing reports saying that they will continue to work and find what's much of it to get more information at this point. But it has been confirmed, as I just read, it has imploded. They did find the tail section. Thankfully, though, we can confirm that there was no further debris in from the Titanic that's based in the area. So that's a good thing. So there was no additional debris from this wreck itself that would have caused it. There were speculations that underwater banging noises were heard near the site that could have been linked to Titan. The Coast Guard says that it doesn't appear to be a connection. And early today, this morning, it had been confirmed that a debris field had been found at their search site. Again, confirming it had imploded. Yeah, it's confirmed, guys. It's true. One of the rescue experts have just said that the landing frame near the rear of it has been found as well and identified. 5 days have passed on a 2 hour when the Titan was going down to the wreck on terms of multiple countries and source of thousands of square miles, and that's when they found it. On Wednesday, the Coast Guard said that the air vessel would have run out of air by 12:08 p.m. at UK time today, during Wednesday yesterday. When you try and find a missing sub in the dark in the environment, it was likely to be discovered like a needle in a haystack, according to the experts. Ugh. There's one article that just says 2 hours ago, missing Titanic submersible. Father Neptune has no patience for humanity. Experts warning. That's not good. Just, it has been confirmed, so I knew it. Oh, God. So, yep, guys. I've just read the info. It is true. It's happened. Damn. Can't believe this. Like, even now as we speak, I'm shocked. You can tell by my face. I can't believe this. No. No bodies would have ever been found. Transylvania. I mean, it would have been crushed by that depth, going more than 2 miles down below the surface. This wasn't a safe environment to begin with. Well, you're going to have to work on your anniversary even differently now, Astro, because of this. It's going to happen, man. Honestly, the papers are going to really dominate this now. Like I said, anything that is anything that's involving Titanic is going to dominate the world news. There's no light at that depth where the Titanic is. It's dark and cold and unforgiving environmental. It's basically located in the Grand Banks. That's basically what it's called, in an underwater chasm. Oh, Jesus Christ, you're right. Holy shit, I didn't even realize it was a George Collins anniversary death today. Holy shit, didn't realize that. Damn. Can't believe this, man. I legitimately cannot believe this. Literally just can't believe this. I know I keep saying that, but what else can I say? I'm at a loss for words. I don't think there will be. Like I said before, Transylvania, I don't think Titanic tourism will ever happen again. The actual underwater explorers who do all the researching and everything, they can do that still. But don't bring people down just to pay you a huge chunk of waste money to just go down there to see the actual wreck. That can't happen. I don't think that we'll ever have that. I mean, if we wanted to, they should always just put a small submersible and then go down, and you can see from the surface. Don't go under the water and see it through with your own eyes. That's the difference right there. But literally, man, this is a tragedy. This was predicted, and we knew it would happen. It is. I wouldn't say it's very fair, but it's just this has just not been. It wasn't prepared. There was no trials done. If you see any of the videos prior to what would have happened to this, you'll see why it was a bad idea to begin with. But like I said, man, I mean, even I, as a long time Titanic buff and everything else, this is unbelievable. I mean, we got over the 111th anniversary this year. Ugh, but now this. Ugh. Sometimes I even wonder if this was done intentionally so they could gain media fame. But for this to die, to be imploded in their own sub, for this, well, it's going to be a lot of questions raised. Who will, like I said, who will be at fault? Who will be responsible? And how will this never happen again? That's what we're going to be faced with now in the upcoming weeks, if not months. You know, I mean, I don't even know what I'm going to think anymore about this, but I had to let you guys know in case maybe you guys were not aware. But this is terrible. Literally terrible. True, they should never have gone down there. Well, of course, the 3D images that we saw of Titanic from the Atlantic productions definitely shows what she looks like now. But at the same time, there could be some other things out there that I mean down there at the wreck site that we've never seen before. I mean, like even farther away that could have been. But still, to have this happening in a modern time with all the latest technology that we have, to have one of these subs just well, if you want to call it a sub or whatever, just blow like this with two millionaires lost inside it with three other victims and a driver who had a bloody Xbox condition on this. I mean, what the hell were they thinking? What was the driver himself thinking of all of this? I mean, that's I'm telling you, that submersible was I don't think was ever designed and built for this. If they had a much bigger sub, they probably would have made it through, but there was barely any air inside that thing. You could barely fit inside. I mean, all the air would have been trapped out, and then it's no wonder the thing must have blown. Oh man, we're gonna have to really accept this now. You know, see on your TV screens, turn on whatever news channel you guys have got to confirm the news. I've just confirmed it now that on the Coast Guard that sub, the Titan, did implode. It was what I feared. I actually speculated that's what would happen. Because if it goes missing, it can't just be like a power failure. It couldn't have gone elsewhere or gone lost. No, it had to have been imploded. And I was right. That's what I was hoping they would be found, but my fears were telling me that this happened, and turns out my fears were correct, along with a few others who believed the same as I did. Yeah. I mean, I know Titanic's a grave site and should be left alone, but like me, I'm like Bob Ballard and James Cameron. I've got the history and the fantasy of the wreck itself. But then again, Titanic always finds new ways to try and tell the story and find new things that may have happened that night. So it always lures you back. It never leaves you. Leave the professionals to do all that, and don't bring any more tourism down. That to me is just, yeah, I will agree on that one. But if they want actual expeditions to go down there, use the professionals to do that, and not like, you know, don't even waste any of you guys' money to just go down there just to see it. I mean, because this was basically like this sub literally sent five guys down to their own deaths, either intentional or accidental. I don't know, but I am one of many who will agree with the idea that professionals should have been involved. They should have had a much better sub for this. They should have thought about this before what could have happened, because I don't think no care in the world was taken from this. I feel like something deliberate happened with this too. But out of this tragedy, I do feel like that the Titanic herself may have just thrown another lesson to the modern world of what can happen when you go underwater, especially beyond 2 miles underneath with enormous pressures just to go and see the greatest shipwreck that ever was. But still, it's almost like Titanic herself always keeps throwing out lessons. Like, first, the lessons of her sinking for that matter, and regardless, it just like throws, and now we've got another one that we're going to learn from. Yeah, I know, Astro, but sometimes seeing the actual wreck with our own eyes spells its own in a strange way. You know, if you saw it with your own eyes, you'd like have a connection almost. But still, I mean, no matter how many times Titanic gets into our lives, it continues to fascinate us, terrify, or make us sad or whatever. There's just so many things about it that we can't even explain. But for this to happen, having a modern submarine blow like this, terrible. Well, unlike Titanic, Britannic can actually go down if you get government permission to go down to see it, but she's in a safer depth going more than 400 feet underwater. And yet Carl Spencer was one who sadly died when he had the bends, when he died from underwater pressure, and he was the only life lost on Britannic. But this on the Titanic with a sub implosion with a loss of 5 lives, how can you compare that, man? Like I said, tourism going to the wreck should be stopped for this, you know. But but like I said before, let the professional explorers who do the expeditionary that we see from other expeditions, they should continue on with it. But don't bring people or tourism down or whatever. Not like that. No. And like I said, man, I don't know how to say this anymore, but I might have to wrap this one up. But I had to let you guys know that it has been confirmed. Like I said 100 times today, I cannot believe this. It's unbelievable, man. Listen, Transylvania, don't compare this from when UP-844 killed off a person that was far worse. That was something, like I said before, I think train enthusiasm will definitely have to change because of the trespassing things, especially with Flying Scotsman and everything. Like I said before, if that was to spark a case of modern day train fans, if you get my drift, surely this on the Titanic can spark something even bigger. You know. Damn. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna have to wrap this one up. But thanks for your time for this unfortunate confirming ending, anyways, guys. But I'm not looking forward to what will happen tomorrow when the newspapers come out because this is going to take the media by storm. It's going to dominate the TV headlines right now as we speak. But damn, as it says on my title tonight on my stream. This is totally a Titanic tragedy, man. It really is. So, with that being said, guys, take care, everybody. This is KFan 701, and with a heavy heart, may those 5 lives who have been lost, may they find some form of peace. And I hope, and just like FAL Collector says, hopefully this issue can be dealt with. We'll find somebody who needs to be responsible and try and find a way to never let this happen ever again. But I think we can all agree that this is a unfortunate, tragic lesson that the Titanic herself may have thrown at us. So with that being said, see you guys later, guys. Take care and enjoy the rest of your summer. Peace, lads.